What's going on, guys? It's me, Giuliano Fan HC here, and today we have the Spring 2025 San Francisco One-Day Airline Collectable Show experience video for you guys. I hope you guys are excited for today's video. I'm super excited to talk about this Airline Collectible Show in today's video, so with that being said, let's get started. So glad to be back at the SFO One-Day Show. The last time I attended that show was on September 21st of 2024 during the fall show. But this is the first time I attended the spring show, which is going to be a similar experience, but it's new to me because this is my first time attending this particular show, the first of the year. To give you context on this show in particular, the SFO One Day Show for spring was held on March 8th, 2025 at the Best Western Plus Ghost Vendor Airport Hotel, and it lasted from 8:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. Now, similar to what I explained on the previous experience video, the San Francisco One Day Show has two shows every year. The second one is going to be held on September 20th, 2025 at that same location and time. If you haven't seen the previous experience video of me talking about the fall 2024 show, then I will make sure to put that card on the top right corner so you can check it out before going into this video. But I'm super excited to attend this One Day Show once again, and first time for the Spring 2025 season. So with that being said, let's get into the first clips. What's going on, guys? It's me, Giuliano Fan 2016 here, and welcome everybody to the SFO One Day Show for March 2025. Of course, being March 8th, 2025, just arrived here in San Francisco, or South San Francisco, and currently right now, weather is clear skies similar to last year's in 2024 of September, which is the second one. This is the first SFO show for the year, and might have a similar experience, but this is my first time coming to didn't arrive here around 12ish. I just arrived here, well, currently we're it's 8:17 right now, so that means we have, let me think, guys, so maybe 13 minutes before the collectible show opens. So once again, it's the SFO One Day Show for March 2025, and super excited to be here. So with that being said, let's get into the fun, shall we?
And welcome everybody inside the Best Western Plus Governor Airport Hotel. Same old sign as I saw in September, but we also got some flyers for today's show, March 8th, 2025, 8:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. And as you can see, I got some flyers already. Seeing a couple of aviation enthusiasts here, kind of waiting for the show to be open. Once again, opens at 8:30, and we have 11 minutes until the show opens. So just gotta chill here in the lobby, probably talk with some guys, and we're gonna get started with the collectible show. So just casually waiting right here, just kind of exploring the first floor of the hotel, the building of the Trans-America Pyramid, and you can see some other San Francisco portraits right there, or just pictures. So really cool. Here's the ferry building right there, and you can see all the various flyers right there. So just gonna be waiting here until the show opens at 8:30. Alright, and the time now is 8:30, so that means the SFO show has officially opened. So here's the sign, and then you can see the line. There isn't much of a big line unlike what I saw at Airlines 2024, but it makes sense. This is just a small one-day show. There's a ballroom in there, and the entrance fee is $8, but if you're I think it's under 12 years of age, then it's free for you. So I'm gonna have to get that paid and done with, and then I'm gonna meet you guys again on the next video clip. And welcome everybody to the SFO show for March 8th. And yep, everything's same. There's all our hobby models right there. Yeah. Ooh, wow. Okay, this is really cool. This is a 1/400 diecast replica of SFO's terminals. That's amazing. I'm gonna have to go into a video of this later, but my god, this is really cool. Here are all of our 100s. There's a United DC-10, a People's Express 747, that's a 100. Air Force One.
Alright, and here we go with the photos I took during the collectible show. So, similar to the previous experience video, I ended up going for like a style where I just show you the pictures and then I will show you the video clips. This is gonna be a similar format, so of course I took these photos and I just want to assess them because like I just want to give you some like background information on all these like photos I took. So here is the picture on when the show opened. So as you can see, a lot of attendees, I'll say, I think the total maximum from that day was around like 89. So that was overall impressive. And yeah, I never went to the SFO show during the start because like on the September show, I ended up arriving at the show around like 12:30ish. But I did came from work on that day. But this time I ended up calling off of work. So it was worth it at least. But overall, as you can see, a good amount of attendees, and you can see all the vendor tables. Once again, this is not really a big of a ballroom unlike Airlines International, but it still houses a lot of good memorabilia. So we're gonna get into more pictures right there as we move on to the next clip. Or not really next clip, but the next round of photos. So as you can see, these are all the photos. So here's one of the first photos of the models that are there. There's some Aero Classics, and I think this is one of the collectible shows that houses like NG models. Because like, as you can see, we got some rare NGs right here. So we got a BMI AC3200, a National AC3200, Malaysia AC30, Singapore 7810. I think this is the Royal Air Force AC3200. I think this is the MRTT. Yeah, military transport plane and refueler. And then there's some other like rare planes like Dragon Airlines or Dragon Air, Air Mexico 789, Etihad 789, Manchester livery. And then you can see some two Philippine A350s from JC Wings and the Love Bus stickers. And then you can see the Aero Classics section right here. So really cool to see some Aero Classics being sold. And then you can see some other memorabilia items right there. So that's like the first photos of the models that I was able to get a picture of. And then here's like another section, so you can see some more more NGs right here. You can see the Malaysia A330. There's also the Air Canada A330-300 as well. And then I think that's the Lufthansa, the German Air Force A350. Yeah, that's the German A350, the German Air Force plane. And then you can see some older Gemini jet models right here. You got a South African Airlines A350 and an Airfly A350 as well. And then you can see some more Dragon Air A330s. And then you can see a row of Phoenix right here, Phoenix models planes right there. And then you can see some JC Wings right there. So really cool stack right here. There's also a Qatar A350 and a Thai A350. And then you can see some other like models right here. I believe this was the retail store. I forgot the name it was, but I think it was like, okay, I think it's like Plain Easy. I don't even remember, but this was okay. Hang on, I think it's right there. Plainly Speaking, yeah, Plainly Speaking was the retail store that I ended up getting at Malaysia and Delta A350 from the September show of 2024. So I got a couple of models in there. If you haven't, well, I'm gonna be posting a mass unboxing soon, so you'll find out on what models I got from that vendor table on mass unboxing. I don't know what mass unboxing will fall on, but there will be a mass unboxing from this collectible show, so stay tuned for that. Here are some Gemini Jets release models, so as you can see, there's some older Gemini Jets and latest Gemini Jets released as well. So, older Gemini Jets like this, Frontier, I think that's Convair CV, what is that? 580, so here's one of the older models right there. I think this came out I don't remember when this came out, but the Cubana ATR, that came out somewhere in the October 2023 releases. There's also some Fantasy Wings GSE as well. Iberia Sierra J1000 is a recent release. I think that's I think that came out months ago. There's also the JetBlue E190, Delta Sierra J900 called Emotion, Allegiant Max 8, and then you can see some recent Gemini Jets releases. So American MD-90 is one of them that came out in December 2024. Well, December 2024/January 2025, and the latest releases as well. So you can see a Southwest 737-700. That's the February 2025 releases, alongside the Air Mexico New Livery 738 and the Starline 738 as well. And there's also the Delta Ron Allen MD-88 as well. So these are recent releases from the Gemini Jets February 2025 releases. And then you can see the Allegheny and the Piedmont were still there. There's the Hawaiian AC30 as well. That also came out in the... I'm guessing that was from the January... Oh, no, it's an A221U. Never mind. But there's also a FedEx M6 and a United Salt Bass M5. And then you can see, I think this is one of the vendor tables I ended up purchasing some models on. But you can see some JC Wings, some 1200s right here. You can see a Singapore 747, a Pan Am 747-100 freighter, the Virgin Orbit 747, and you can see a B-52 and a Luftwaffe A400 from the German Air Force. And these are all from Herpa, and this is one that's operating for the USAF. So really cool models right there. There's also a United 777-200 ER in the Battleship Grey livery, and the all black 333 from Air New Zealand. And here's the next photo right here. I was really fortunate to see Cali Plains' vendor table right here at the SFO show. And yeah, I've been watching Cali Plains' videos. Like, I watched Sal's videos, all of his live streams at SFO. They were amazing catches, and he does a very great job on capturing all these planes doing these live streams. And I was also able to meet Sal too. So huge shout out to Cali Plains and Sal. I think them being here is really nice. It's a nice addition, and hopefully I can see them at the September show soon. I'll talk about the September show in a moment. But really cool to see Cali Plains and Sal. And there was also Aviation on Radar. I think they were like partnering up for this collectible show. I think I had a notification for a bit. But it was really cool to see them at this collectible show at the SFO show for March. And overall, I can't wait to see them. Sal, if you're watching this, please come to the SFO show in September. I would love to see you there. And then here's one of the models right here I ended up getting a picture out of. So here it is, the Eastern L1011. So this was really cool to see, and there was this one vendor table that I came across with. I saw this Eastern L1011. This was from the engine models, I think January 2025 releases. It's a model that I've been wanting to have in my collection, and honestly, it's a really cool model. It's $70 by the way, so that's a really cool deal. And from what I heard, I think he got this model from, like, I think it was like one of his, like, I think he just got this model, and I don't know what I think from what I can remember, I think he got it as like some kind of like present or something. I'm not sure if it was from his birthday or Christmas or something, but he ended up, I think he had multiple stacks of these models, and he was like, oh, I just want to sell them because like I just sell them because like I want to at least give it to someone. I don't know, like maybe say he doesn't really have that interest in this plane, but yeah, but I'm assuming he said that. So I just want to get this out so at least I can have somebody offer this. Like, you can have somebody like get this model as an offer. So, spoiler alert, everybody, I ended up getting this model. It is my second L1011 in my collection, and overall, I'm really fortunate to have this model. And overall, this model looks absolutely very nice. And yeah, like the NG L1011 looks very nice. And honestly, they did a very good job on this mold. So I'm really fortunate to have my second L1011 after getting my Delta L1011 TriStar also from engine models from 2022. So she joins the lineup for my L1011 collection. And honestly, I can't wait. So yeah, that's going to be featured on this mass unboxing. I can't wait to like unbox this model for you all on that unboxing. And overall, it's going to be a really cool model. So we're just going to stop right here. But I got a couple of video clips to showcase to you guys. So without being said, let's roll on into some video clips.
Alright, we're looking around this one vendor table right there. We can see a various varieties of Gemini jets from older releases and recent ones. Like, take for instance, I think I found one recent release, which is this beauty right here. This is the United Airlines 737-800 in the Star Alliance livery. This came out on the February release from GJ. And there she is, looking absolutely very nice. And yeah, some collectors say that they did improve on this mold, so that's really awesome.
We got two young men who got dioramas. Please think about making a donation. They're not selling much, but you know they could use a little bit of support. So they got cups out. Donate $1 if you can. It'd go a long way. But now it's time for the raffle. We're gonna do 3 raffles. We got prizes. You come on up if you got the first ticket. We got 689-7825. 689-7825.
Alrighty, let's move on to some more pictures right here. So, as you can see, here's a picture of these wings, which cost $5, but you can get 4 for $20, or 4 if it's like less than. But yeah, I think that says 6 less than 4. I'm not sure what that means, but I think if you can get $6 if you buy less than 4. So kind of like 2 pins or 3 pins. But as you can see some TWA pins. There's a PSA pin, Midway Airlines pin, American Airlines, which is right there, Continental and United right there as well. And then you can see some other pins that belong to old airlines like Eastern, and I think that's ValueJet. Yeah, that's ValueJet. They were an interesting airline back then. And then there's also miscellaneous pins like Junior Pilot Wing, and then there's also, I think that, yeah, Junior Flight Attendant as well. But then you also got some international ones too. Cool pins right there, and honestly, there's a nice assortment of wings at the SFO show. But overall, they honestly look very nice, and I would like to get the PSA one, but I decided to pass on that. Maybe I might get it at some point in the future. Alright, so this next picture right here, now if you guys saw the previous video clips I showed you guys, there was actually a raffle at the SFO show. Now from what I understand, I think
the SFO show might be I'm not sure if it's the only collectible one-day show that hosts raffles, but I'm assuming some other collectible shows, whether it's like Dallas or like Los Angeles. I don't think Los Angeles had one, but I believe SFO is like one of the one-day shows, from what I know, that do raffles during like the duration of this collectible show. So as you can see, this is my raffle ticket right here. The last 4 numbers are 7806. And yeah, they also called out on the last 4 numbers. So once again, my last 4 numbers are 7806. I unfortunately never got called, so I never won anything. But they got some really good memorabilia. So they, like, during the first portions of the raffle, they started off with like some various aviation memorabilia items. I think it was mostly bags, and I think there were some additional ones too. But after that portion of the raffle, they were like, wait until the next raffle, which is basically like, I think the next raffle after the first raffle is 20 minutes. So like, after like 20 minutes, another raffle will be hosted, and they would continue selling some memorabilia. And I think at the end portion of the raffle, I think they were starting to get some models in. So there was the models of raffles, like, so there were raffles on aviation memorabilia, and then towards the end there were raffles on model planes. And I think they were ranging from 1 to 100s and 1 for 100s as well. So once again, I mean, I wish I can win one, but only time will tell, honestly. But I wasn't really too mad about it. I mean, like, either way, it was really cool to have a raffle ticket. And honestly, if my number would have been called, then I would have got something really good. But for now, did not have my number called. It is what it is, and I can't complain too much right there. Here's a really cool model right here. Now, this is the other vendor table I ended up like going to, because like I ended up during the entire duration of the collectible show, I ended up like circling around the vendor tables and pretty much a ballroom, and I think I did that like more than 100 times throughout the entire duration of this collectible show. So yeah, I was like going around looking for memorabilia, looking for models, and all that other stuff right there, until I came across this, which is a blank Airbus AC-80, which I don't know which manufacturer did this, like what was the manufacturer who did this blank AC-80, but it was really cool to see one. And honestly though, it is a really cool model indeed, and I think I'll go over the price and just, I think the next one shows the price because this model had a really good deal. But before that, I also want to mention that there's a Lufthansa the AC-80 for Lufthansa, that's worth $189. There's also the Salbat 747-400 from Gemini 200, and the C5M Super Galaxy, also from Gemini 200. And I'm guessing this could also be I think that's an AC-80, but that's operating for Qantas. But yeah, this AC-80 had a really good price, and I think this next picture shows the price of this AC-80, which is, okay, not the next one, but yeah, this AC-80 had a really good price, and I think alongside down the road, I think there's gonna be one picture that shows the price of this blank AC-80. But moving on, we also got some really cool stuff from this vendor table. So this vendor table, actually was selling some various like memorabilia stuff, like towels, plates, cups that came from airlines, which honestly that's really cool. There were also some trading cards too, or just like poker cards, but there were, I think this person, I think he was like, I think I know the name, but like it has something like, yeah, this vendor table is something about, I think I have the name of the vendor table. Let me just pull it up. Hang on, guys. But this vendor table was selling some memorabilia items that came from the airline. So whether it be plates and forks, and then like cups and other stuff like blankets and pillows. They got this from all the various airlines. So current and past airlines like Delta and TWA. Well, Delta, because there were also, I think there were a couple of modern Delta, but there were also some retro Delta items too. So that was really cool right there. And yeah, I think I ended up getting some models that were from this vendor table one time, but I also ended up getting some models there as well. So overall, they got a nice selection of memorabilia items, I will say. I think all these like memorabilia items from plates, forks, and spoons and cups, those are nice additions. So really cool to have some models, or not models. Oh, they were also selling some models too. I think, yeah, they were also selling models too, but they got some really good deals on models, but most of them are 1 to 600, but there was one 1 to 400 model that was on this vendor table, so that's really cool. There was also an Aloha Airlines. I think that's Aloha Airlines plastic glass. Yeah, that's worth $10, which is a really good deal right there. Okay, so I think it's like something about JoJo's Airline Empire something. I think I have its business card, but I think I'll have to do a aviation memorabilia haul on that to know what that like what they do. So yeah, these are all like the memorabilia items you see there. And then you can see another picture of various like 1-100 aircraft. So you can see a Cathay 333, oh not 333, 222. There's some DC-8s right there. And then you can see an Aeromexico DC-10. And then there's an American 707. Well, these are 707s. These two are DC-8s. And it kind of looks like, I mean, the shot may kind of appear a bit blurry. There was also a Hawaiian DC-8 too, but I think I have a clear picture on that. So yeah, that's those. And then you can see some shirts right there. So you can, well, shirts, but you also got some jackets as well. So you can see all the various like shirts and jackets from the airlines, and then you can see some bags as well. I think one of them is like a animal bag. So I'm not really quite sure about that one, but I'm guessing that's an animal bag, like where you like place your small animal or your small pets. But still, most of these like shirts are like large, extra large. I think I found a couple of mediums, but those are not really like, honestly, I think those weren't on my interest as of that. Like maybe those weren't on my like collecting criteria as of that picture. But on that, still cool to see some shirts right there, and hopefully I can try to get one at some point in the future. Okay, last video clip for this portion of this video. Well, not video clip, last pictures of this portion. So as you can see some, I was not expecting this. So you can see some Legos. Well, these are Legos, but then you can also see some, yeah, these are kind of like Legos almost. So these are like Legos of airplanes like you would find at airports and all that stuff. So there's like a American Airlines Lego set, and then there's like a Lego 747, like Lego set of Air Force One. So that's really cool. But they were also selling some models, like 1-200 models as well. Like this British Airways 757. This is like one of their Utopia planes. There was also a Southwest 727 as well, and then a Delta A220 that's cost like $160. So $160 for a Delta A220, especially for a model this rare, is good. There was also a picture of the 787 that's worth $5. And then you can also see some salmon people. I think, yeah, these are not safety cars, but these are all like the brochures of Alaska's salmon people plane, or Hrakwani. And then you can also see a model scale version of a Concorde as well. But yeah, really cool that they were selling Legos here. I was not expecting Lego sets to be featured on this SFO show, but still, those are really cool. But these models, though, these 1-200 models, these are great deals. And then of course you got I think that's an American 789 if I would, yeah, it says 789, but that's worth $40, which is a good steal for like a wide-body airplane. And there's also, guessing that's a CRJ 1000 in the back. So, really cool models right here and Lego sets, and really cool to also get this picture as well. Anyways, let's move on to some more video clips that I want to show you guys. So, more video clips are coming in your way, so let's show those.
18 7818.
Who could that be?
Ticket number 2, 7810.
7810. Has to be on the last digit.
Last one for now. 7867. 7867.
Not me. But if you guys saw the picture, then
we'll redraw. That's not a threat, but I mean, take it how you will. So, any winners? Raise your hand. 7810. Hey, we got one.
There we go.
Thank God. All right, I'll take it.
And these are the prices right there.
More stuff. He doesn't need more stuff. All right. Wow. 7879.
Ooh, that's a 787-9. That's the aircraft.
Number for you geeks out there.
Yep.
7836.
All right, now as we move on to this portion of pictures, this picture involves this really cool 1/4 scale replica of San Francisco International Airport's International Concourse, which honestly, I was literally blown away when I saw this. And honestly, this person did a fantastic job on this replica. This is from Cal Aviator. He also has an Instagram and YouTube. And I think his Instagram page is SFO 1400. I think that is, or 1400 SFO, or kind of like vice versa. But I think it's SFO 1400 from what I know. But still, this is really cool right here. I did not expect to see this at the one-day show, but from all the various like GSCs to the planes and just how this airport is replicated in 1/4 scale just blew me right away. Like, this is just phenomenal effort right here. So great job to this person right here. And I got many pictures to show you guys. So here's like the picture right here. So here are the pictures. So like one of the pictures as you can see. So I'm guessing this could be SFO's, I think that's the A concourse of the international terminal. So you can see all of the various like wide bodies that operate there. And then here's some more pictures. So you can see 2 United 777-300ERs, an ANA 777-300ER as well, and a United 787-9 as well. So you can see all these these GSC equipment that is featured. That is just like astonishing. This is really cool. And then you can see the jet bridges that are, jet bridges that are connected to the planes. While this one, I don't want to talk about this one because I don't know how that's being placed right there on this United 789, but still, this replica, and even like the mat, they even featured like the mat of the SFO term, like the map, like the, what is that? Yeah, mat of like this entire terminal. This is just really, really cool, honestly. I'm just, once again, just blown away by this, and honestly, there's a lot. Honestly, I can like make a separate video out of this, but still, I do have a video, like a full video on this one, but that's coming soon. But I can try making an individual video on this like full scale, like 1/4 scale replica. But man, that is just really awesome right there. And then, as you can see on the next picture right here, you can see a Lufthansa A380. This is actually an Aviation 400 model. And honestly, I have never seen Aviation 400 models on the previous one-day show I attended, but this was really cool to see. So, yeah, here's a Lufthansa A380. I remember they used to send in A380s during like the pre-pandemic era of aviation. So, like kind of like around that, before 2020. But still, this is really cool right there. So here's a Lufthansa A380. There's also a Singapore A350 as well, and an Air Canada 777-300ER. And then you can see the all-black Air New Zealand 333 as well on like this side of the concourse. And then this, I think this is the concourse, like the G concourse of the terminal. So as you can see, once again, this is really cool. This is a really cool replica right there. And yeah, shout out to Cal Aviation for this, because like this is just amazing. Once again, he has a YouTube and Instagram account, and you can also follow SFO 1400 on his Instagram page as well. And then you can see all the various airlines right there: British A380, Korean Air 333, CAS A350, EVA 333, China Airlines and Philippine Airlines 333 as well. Here's another angle of it. Gosh, this looks fantastic. The British A380. Gosh, wow. They don't operate out of Concourse G. They mainly operate out of the Terminal A concourse. So, but still, this is just a really cool replica. Anyways, here is the EVA Air 777-300ER right there. Gosh, this is once again really cool here. And honestly, I wanted the EVA Air 333 at some point after flying with them. But still, really cool to see them right there. And I just want to get that picture. There was also a Virgin Atlantic 787 that was featured. I don't think I got like a full picture of it, but you can see like the red wingtip on this side. Like if you look on the bottom right, you can see the wingtip of the Virgin Atlantic 787. And then here is the Philippine Airlines 777-300ER. I'm not sure, because I'm guessing I'm not sure where this came from. Because I know Aviation 400 did this one, but this is a different registration. This is Romeo Papa Charlie 7773. So I'm not sure which manufacturer made this, but I'm guessing that could be a Gemini jet if I were to take a guess. But yeah, as you can see all the tugs right there loading up the ULDs into the cargo hold of the plane, and then you can see a catering truck, and then there's the jet bridges that are connected to the plane. Well, this jet bridge, I don't think it was connected to the L2 boarding door, but at least this jet bridge was. But still, a real cool replica right there. And here's the last clip, or like the last picture of that replica right there, this diorama. So special thanks to Jet Bridge supporter and GSC suppliers. So the jet bridge, excuse me, gosh, I need to take a breather for a second right there. Whew, but because I've been talking a lot, but I can explain so much about this replica right here. But the jet bridge, Clipper model supports the jet bridge, so he bought the jet bridges out of them to make this replica. And then you can see Tiny Tug Designs. They were the ones responsible for the GSCs right here. So as you can see, these are all from Tiny Tug Designs, and they do have an eBay page, so I might see if I want to try to get some GSC from them, because I've heard some good responses on eBay about this retailer, or just this individual who creates these GSCs. So I might see if I can try to do that. But still, maybe if I do, then a video will be coming. But still, I'd like to get some models from GSC equipment from Tiny Tug Designs. I think they were selling some models on the eBay, but majority on their name, their branding, it's just all GSC stuff. So would it be from tugs, bag loaders, ULDs, and all the K loaders and all that stuff? Tiny Tug's got you covered. So really cool really cool stuff right there from this replica. And then you can see their social media pages. So you can see Cal Aviator has a YouTube channel and Instagram page, and then SFO One has an Instagram page. So you can follow those Instagram accounts, and once again, shout out to them because they made some amazing stuff. Alright, let's move on to some more pictures right here. So here's the 787-8 picture that I mentioned before. Once again, this cost $5, and this was on the Museum Flight of Seattle. Now, from this picture, I think this was a picture of when the 787-8 was moved to the Aviation Pavilion, where it's displayed as of today. So that's really cool that they have a picture of this. But yeah, that's a really cool picture. I would love to get it, but gosh, I mean, like, I would love to, but I've just been exploring so much in the ballroom. But yeah, still a cool addition. I hope I can see this again anytime soon, though. Next picture right here. So I decided to get this picture. So this is a Pan Am 707 flying over the Golden Gate Bridge, and yeah, it's a really cool photo. Because the Golden Gate Bridge is a iconic landmark here in the state of California, so it's worth getting a picture out of. But having the Pan Am 707 featured, I think that's a really cool addition because I both like because I like both San Francisco and aviation at the same time. But yeah, once again, it's really cool to have a local collectible show that's just 2 hours away from me. So glad I was able to attend that. Here it is. So this blank A380 costs $99. So that is just an amazing deal right there. Getting a 1-200, I think that's 1-200. But a 1-200 A380 that's worth $99, and it is an absolute deal right there. That's a steal, honestly. But yeah, you can make some customs out of it. Who knows who we're gonna make? But from what I know, I think nobody took this. I would love to, but I think my wallet at that point was my wallet's kind of all over the place. Should I get this A380? But because I never had an A380 in my collection. But yeah, I think I talked with the guy who runs this vendor table on why that's there. He just said that, I'm just wanting to sell this. I'm just looking for somebody to sell this and kind of give this away to collectors. So yeah, that's why that's there. But honestly, I would like to get this model, but I have no idea on where I'm gonna place that if ever I were to buy this. Once again, $99. That's a good deal for a 1-200 A380. But the problem is, I don't know where I'm gonna display that because I have so many shelves that have 1-200 models and other 1-400 models. It's gonna be really difficult. And given to the size of this A380, I have no idea on how that's gonna gonna be displayed if I were to place it on a very tiny shelf. But still, $99. That's a great deal right there for this Airbus A380. So yeah, that's why I want to show you this picture because this is just a really, really great deal right there. And then moving on to this vendor table. So as you can see, there's some big scale models. I'm not sure there were any flight miniatures right there, but you can see a Convair from American. I have no idea what the type is though, but I heard of some Convairs, but I haven't seen much of their fleet. So maybe that could be a Convair 880, I guess. And then you can see some military planes. You can see all your various fighter jets and propeller planes. There's an A-10 Warthog right there. There's also a UPS DC-8, the United Postal Service. And then you can see a Connie TWA plane, and then the Spirit of St. Louis. I also have some individual pictures of that as well. And then you can see some military planes. So you can see a B-17 Flying Fortress. I think that's what scale is this? Let me just zoom in. It's $125, but 1:72 scale. So this is made out of die-cast metal, and then you can see a Avro Lancer as well. So really cool to see these on display as well. And I think that's also 1:72 scale. But there's also some Hobby Masters as well. So this vendor table was also selling some Hobby Master fighter planes. And yeah, I would like to get one, but not really in my priority as of late. And here's another picture of the Avro Lancer up close. And here's this really cool stack. So I've seen this stack before. This is honestly one of the coolest stacks I've ever seen. So you can see a line of Hobby Masters, and then you can see a in-flight 200 A310 I think that's an MRTT transport plane. And then you can see some F-A-18 Super Hornets or just F-A-18 Hornets from NASA, and then an F-15 Eagle right there with the 75th anniversary scheme. And then you can see there's also a Lockheed F-117 Nighthawk as well, so that's also cool to see as well. And then you can see a Hobby Masters P-51 and a F-35 right there. Both of them, well, this is 1:72, this one is a 148 scale. So yeah, really cool to see all these military planes that are in store. There's also an F-22 and an F-14 Tomcat right there.
here's an American MD-11 right there. This is by Gemini 200. This is like a rare model, so this costs $300, which I'm not sure why they ended up putting this model for $300, but hey, they want to try to get this away. There's also the KLM 777 300ER in the older orange pirate livery, so that's also cool to see as well. Yeah, this is by JC Wings, so really cool to see this American MD-11 right there. And last picture on this portion of this video, we have the Virgin Orbit 747-400 flight test aircraft from JC Wings for just $110. So that's a better deal than this MD-11. I mean, you can get this model, if you have enough money, that is. But for $110 for this Virgin Orbit 744, that's a really good deal right there. It comes with the rocket as well, so that's really cool. I would like to make that offer, but still, I don't want to try to get as many 1-200 miles. I want to get a balance of I collect more on 1-400s. 1-200s are for specific reasons, but still really cool to see this Virgin Orbit 744 from JC Wings at 1-200 scale. So that's it for this portion of the pictures right here. Let's move on to some more video clips, and I got a couple of more video clips to show you guys that are really interesting. So without being said, let's move on to those.
Alright, and here we are in mini Slimmerville. So as mentioned on the previous experience video for September's collectible show.
Hi there, how are you?
And there's Chris Slimmer himself doing the job. So Mini Slimmer is just like it always happens in one-day shows. So Chris Slimmer would always have his render table set up. And yeah, but in the main airliners, we just call it Slimmerville.
You're gonna be there.
Yes.
You and all the boys.
Yeah, I just already purchased my ticket for the inbound flight to Atlanta, so super excited to attend that convention.
Good for you, thanks.
You're welcome. Well, that's it for the SFO One Day Show. As you can see, I got a lot of goodies inside my booty bag right there, and yeah. Overall, it was a really fun experience and really glad to be part of the SFO show for March, and I'm super excited to attend the next show on September 20th. So get your calendars ready, or just get your calendar right now, because the SFO show, which will be the second one for the year, will be on September 20th. I'll make sure to attend that, and overall, got a lot of videos to do, I'll say, from memorabilia to a mass unboxing and this experience video. So overall, super excited to make those. But I'm just gonna be, I think what I'll be doing right now is doing some plane spotting at SFO, and then we're gonna see what happens next. But we got some good stuff at SFO. We got a KLM Major 222 and some other specials that we're gonna be seeing. So with that being said, let's plane spot at SFO.
Alright, so now moving on to the next round of pictures. These are actually the last round of photos from the show. So we're going to get started here with this model of the TWA Connie. So as you can see, it's not sure what scale this is. This is kind of more of a bigger scale. It's not really it's kind of 1/200, but I think there might be a different scale on that. But I think this is a really cool model, I'll say. Although there's a lack of details, but still, this is a really job well done to this manufacturer who made it. So really cool to see right there. Next up, we got the Spirit of St. Louis, a nice small replica of this particular plane. Of course, the Spirit of St. Louis play a big role in U.S. aviation during the 20s. So, of course, I think this is the first aircraft to cross the Atlantic. So, really cool on how the Spirit of St. Louis is able to achieve that. Next up, we have a really interesting model. So, we have not sure what airline is this. I'm not sure how I can pronounce this. I think it's Muri Air, if I were to take a guess. But this appear to be like a DC-9 or some sort, but I think this still looks really cool. And yeah, DC-9, oh yeah, this is like an MD-80, I think. So here is this is like the DC-9-80, which is basically the McDonnell Douglas MD-80. Next up, we have a really cool model right here. So this is a gold Boeing 727. Wasn't expecting to see that here at the show, but still, it's really cool on how they were able to display that. And next up, we do have a China Airlines MD-11. And yeah, this aircraft has seen better days. Unfortunately, the nose landing gear is missing, so the nose landing gear tires is missing. But the model does look very nice. This is from Phoenix Models, and I know this is a one-piece mold, but still, the MD-11 from Phoenix Models does look very nice. And yeah, the printing of the livery also looks really detailed as well, so great work Phoenix on that. Although, even though you do get a missing landing gear, I think they lowered the price to $60 because of that. I'm not sure if they're gonna lower it down even more, but we'll see. Alright, so now moving on to the next round of pictures. These are actually the last round of photos from the show. So we're going to get started here with this model of the TWA Connie. So as you can see, it's not sure what airline is this. I'm not sure how I can pronounce this. I think it's Muri Air, if I were to take a guess. But this is a really cool model. So we have a really interesting model. So we have a And here's the KLM 787-9. Now, this is by Aviation 400. Now, normally when I go to the SFO Collectable Show, well, last year in September, I only saw some Gemini jets, Aero Classics, and NG models. I was not expecting to see Aviation 400 here, so it's really cool that Aviation 400 was able to make it at this collectible show. And yeah, KLM 789, they do sometimes send these to SFO, but not quite too often as compared to the Dash 10. I think during the summer they would also send in a 222 as well, and I think also the 333 as well. So really cool to see this Aviation 400 model at the SFO show, and yeah, rare appearance for Aviation 400 at these collectible shows. Some collectible shows have all Gemini jets, and there are like a few engine models. They're kind of like more Aero Classics, but you get the varieties right here. But yet again, I have never seen Aviation 400 at a one-day show before, so that's something new. Next up, I do want to show you this picture of a North Central Airlines. I think this is kind of like decal or something, or some kind of like sticker. Now, the reason why I took this picture is I'm actually going to give it to one aviation enthusiast who is a big fan of North Central Airlines, and that, of course, is JJ Aviation. And JJ, if ever you're seeing this, you're going to love this memorabilia item, because like because I found this on one of the like sticker holders. Like I think this could be like a sticker, I'm not really quite sure, but it said North Central Airlines in it, so I knew I gotta give this to JJ because he's a big fan of North Central. He pretty much has the entire 1-400 fleet of North Central planes, which that's really impressive for him because like he has the big history on North Central Airlines. So there you go, JJ. I'll give this to you once I see you in person, but still, it's a really nice grab for this, and yeah, it's a really nice piece of his collection right here. Next up, I do got a couple of pictures, so you can see some Gemini 200s. We got a Delta Sierra J900, the recent 1200 release, and then you got the American A321 Neos, American Sierra J1000 from Iberia. Delta, I think that's a, yeah, that looks like a Ron Allen MD-88. I'm guessing, yeah, this could be like the recent release, like, because like this, I think 2024 or 2023. Then you got some Airbus A321 Neos, 737 MAX 9, JetBlue A321 Neo ribbons is like one of the older releases, and then you got a Southwest 727. There's also a 1-400, not 1-400. This is a there's a Tupolev 144 in by Herpa. This is a 1-200 model, so yeah, there it is. There's also some J-Swings, like a J-Swing 733. I think that's a 737-300 if I would take a guess in the blue delivery. There's also a Battleship Grade 757. And then you can see some Phoenix models right there. You can see a Virgin A340-600, Qantas A380, Qatar A380. And then there's a Etihad 787, KLM 787, and some kind of like Disney Special Delivery 747. Next picture, you can see some rare vintage photos. So I do love collecting vintage photos when I go to these collectible shows, because like I do have some fascinations on how photography was like back in like the 80s, 70s, 90s. And yeah, many of these planes during that time frame, during the golden age of aviation, they were really cool. Like they have some really cool liveries, really cool aircraft, and overall, the golden age of aviation, like the jet age to be exact, it was a really interesting year for aviation here around the world. So they were selling some discount, like they were selling these on a discounted price, like this one for example, 20% discount, minimum of 10 cards, and then you can have 3 for $10, and then you can see some more vintage labels for a 20% discount for 10. So really cool. I think I got a couple of these, so I think that's gonna be in a aviation memorabilia video. Not sure when I'm gonna post that, but yeah, hopefully it's somewhere not in the distant future. And then as you can see, here is a Hawaiian 787-9 in 1/200 scale by Gemini 200. I decided to get this picture, and this is also flaps down too, because like I have seen the Gemini 200 Hawaiian 787, but I have never seen it up close. Well, I've seen it in the Airliners convention in Kansas City, but I do want to show you guys this one when it's inside the box. But hopefully I can try to get a Hawaiian 787-9 in 1/200 scale in the future. It's not really in the future plans right now, but of course, me working with Hawaiian Airlines, I do want to get this model because I do want another 787. Well, I do have two 787s, but I just want another 1/200 787 that has like all these like good details, like a Gemini 200, for example. So yeah, hopefully I could try to get in the distant future, but only time will tell. And then, as you can see, here's another photo of the overlook of the ballroom. As you can see, the ballroom's just about to wrap up, like the collectible show. It's kind of getting close to that 2:30 mark. And yeah, many of these retailers are packing up their stuff before they head back to their homes and other retail places. So yeah, you can see not a lot of attendees, and yeah, like everything is just winding down at this time. I took this picture around 1:19 in the afternoon.
And then you can see some more models right there. Now, I think there was some model over there. I think it was the AN225, if I were to take a guess. I believe somebody already got that, which I'm really impressed. And yeah, it's a very popular model. The AN124 Ruslan is still there, but then you also got the Westover and the Texas Air National Guard C5M Super Galaxy. The $90 Airbus A380 was still there, which I'm kind of like surprised that nobody has ever took this model home, even though that model costs $90, which $90 for an A380 is really insane. And then you can also see some in-flight 200s and JC Wings 1-200 models right there. And here are some, I think these, timetables. So timetables, I think this could be a Philippine Airlines timetable because it says PAL. So I'd assume this is a Philippine Airlines timetable. I believe I saw this at the Collectible Show in September, if I were to take a guess. But I don't know why I haven't opted to get this, but I think that's kind of like in a future hold. Maybe if ever I attend the Collectible Show in September, then maybe I might go for it. But then you also got I think that's Pan Am. So a Pan Am timetable as well. Really do like these timetable designs. Yeah, I just wanted to get the picture of them. And then here's some more models. We're just rounding up the photos right there. So you can see a Hawaiian DC-8 and 1/200 scale. I think that's my in-flight. There's an American jet flagship 707, a Japan Airlines DC-8, and then you can see the jet flagship. I think that's a Convair. No, Convair, yeah, that's a Convair. I think that's a 580 if I were to take a guess. And then you can see a Qantas 707 right there. And the last few photos are all the purchases I got from this year's Collectible Show from March. So as you can see off the bat what I got. So you can see I got the February 2025 release United 737-800 Star Alliance Leader from Gemini Jets. I also got this DC-3 from, I think, Skabak models, if I were to take a guess. I think that cost I think it was $20. So that was a really good deal on a 1-400 model. No, it's not 1-400, it's 1-250. But a model this rare, I don't think you would find these on many retailer websites. And usually if this gets sold on eBay, they sell it at a very hefty price. So yeah, I think I got this for $25 or $20 or so. But that's a really good deal for a model this rare and old. And you can see I got a couple of Gemini Jets right there, and I think I have one final photo. Here's the final photo. This is kind of like a different angle. So I also got some memorabilia. I do got a safety card, and then you can see I think I also got some photos as well. So yeah, that's it for the photos right here. So those are all the photos I got from the San Francisco Collectible Show. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna conclude this video from here, and overall give you my overall thoughts on this month's, the March 2025 spring show. So yeah, overall it was a really fun show. Really glad to attend the second one, my second time attending the SFO show, and the first time I attended the one for spring. So overall, it's a really fun show. Really glad I got to stay there from the beginning, and yeah, from all the raffles and then all the various stuff in between, it was a really, really cool experience, I'll say. So with that being said, I'm gonna proceed on to the outro, and we're gonna conclude this video from there. So with that being said, let's move into the outro.
And that concludes the Spring 2025 San Francisco Airline Collectible Show. Overall, I had a really fun experience, and it was really awesome to attend the Collectible Show for San Francisco 2 times in a row. Make sure to stay tuned for the upcoming video content from that Collectible Show within the next couple of weeks. You can expect a memorabilia haul and a massive unboxing coming soon. But that's gonna do it. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and turn on the bell icon so you won't miss a new video from me anytime soon. And I'm just super excited to upload those upcoming video content for you all. So, that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Good night.